All right, boom. You guys see it? All right. Boom. Let's unmute it.
Don't let that fool you. One thing they have going for them right now is that the wind is blowing from the south, so it's pushing them. But don't let that fool you. We have the St. Johns River. We're going to turn, when we turn east, we're going to be going against the current, and the wind is from the side, and that's when the treadmill starts. It's only about a half mile to the finish from there, but it's going to feel like 5 miles.
Boom. All right. So let's remove that. Boom. What's up, guys? Jen, you keep disappearing. Where's Christy at? There she is. Christy, what's going on? All right, there she goes. So, hey guys, welcome to the Mission 50 AAR 002, because today around 11 o'clock we did 001 with the five, well, the four. It was supposed to be four, but it turned out to be three FNGs. And you know what that means, the freaking new guys in the military technology. So, and we got one FNG sort of kind of right here. She's been around for a while, but Stephanie, what's up? How
Hey
you
there.
doing? Hey, can you do me a favor and go ahead, introduce yourselves? There you go. Start off. I don't know who wants to start off first. Jen's always in charge, so Jen, go for it. You hear me, Jen? Jen? All right, Christy, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Christy, and I've been with Task Force for 3 years, and this is my third time doing this 50-mile mission.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm a civilian, but they treat me like I'm a service person. So I'm all up in their biz.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then what else, Christy? So tell us what about your family?
My family is from Jacksonville. My dad was in the Air Force, and my stepdad is he's a submarine vet.
Okay, awesome, awesome, nice.
Yes.
Well, thanks, Christy. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Jen Kessler, what's going on?
I'm happy to be here. That was awesome watching that video again. I was all excited.
Tell us about yourself. I read a little bit about your bio earlier. You know, you're not from Florida. You're out of towner. So,
Yep. Live in Charlotte, North Carolina. Grew up in Michigan. Started paddling in 2015 with stand-up paddle and outrigger 2. I'm a civilian.
okay.
Started paddling with you guys this year. beginning of the year, and just continued to grow the Oana family, and just love paddling with you guys and getting in the water and just creating the memories, and just building the outrigger community and all.
Okay, awesome. Man, I was reading your bio today, and I wasn't really aware that you're one of these people who likes doing different events too. You know?
Yeah, I love doing the 50 paddle, because it's just being a part of something bigger than self
Yeah,
is so much more impactful than just going out to do the races and being competitive. And it's definitely a different mindset, because you kind of want to be competitive, but once you get out there, helping the other people who haven't paddled before, and just building that community and raising the money and awareness for for whatever the purpose is just so much bigger than self. And for me, being a part of that is just so much more impactful.
yeah, yeah. That's what I like. And so you've done 320 miles over what?
That was for the We the Water. I did 2 years of it, but the whole initiative of that was 320 miles in 3 years along the North Carolina coastline.
Okay.
I did year 2 and 3 of that.
Okay.
It was very similar to what we did with you guys, but obviously more mileage.
Yeah.
Change out like you guys did as well, and just building the community and meeting people all along the East Coast and Florida and Southern area, and it's a really cool experience to be a part
Okay. Oh, there's Jen right there. Man, Jen's been coming in and out, man. She's been doing like drive-by shootings. No, there she
Right?
goes again. Well, it's because she doesn't want to put chrome on her phone. She's
Calling
got
her
a lot of
out.
you got a lot of kids in tech, and they're like, "Mom, don't put Chrome on your phone." So, all right. So we got Stephanie. What's going on?
Hey guys, Stephanie Chrisman. I am new to Task Force Task Force Hydro. Since last year, I got into that for a volunteer opportunity. So I volunteered at the Hydro Games last year. That's how I first met everyone. And man, I was instantly drawn to you guys. I'm a service member myself, so I'm on the reserve side medical. My current unit is a surgical unit out of Jacksonville.
Okay.
But it's my passion. I worked in the VA for 18 years now as a physical therapist. The military community is my community. So being able to connect with task force has been so awesome for me.
Yeah.
And then, like Jennifer was saying, like these kind of events, the Mission 50 paddle is right up my alley. I'm not a super obstacle course race, like that's my jam right there.
Yeah.
But I love being athletic in pretty much every way. So the paddle's perfect for me. I love being on the water. I love the camaraderie that we have in task force. Doing this Mission 50 paddle was it was awesome because it was kind of competitive because we're all kind of competitive, but it's not an all-out race, right? It was about bringing people together, which was really awesome.
Awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for Jen. She's not. Hey, Stephanie, I'm going to mute you real quick, okay? Just whenever you need to talk, mute only because you got something going on with your microphone. All right. There you go. All right. So let me see right here. I'm learning how to do this, be a producer and with all this things
He's
like
doing great.
things and all that stuff, right? So basically we went over how you guys got into paddling. What does, and you guys can choose whoever wants to say it, but what does the ocean and outrigger paddling mean to you personally, and why do you do it? Oh, we already found the person right here. Bam, boom.
Oh gosh, I don't know. For me, I love the challenge of it. I'm not a great swimmer, and like growing up in Michigan and North Carolina, not being near the ocean and everything, just having the ability to go out there and challenge myself, and I guess prove to myself that I do it and I'm able to do it and conquer some fears that I thought maybe I couldn't do. And so to go out and learn to surf and go with people that know how to do it, It's just a really cool experience to be able to do so living where I
You're
live.
raised on a farm, right? You grew up on a farm,
Yeah,
and you really didn't come around the ocean till around 2012 and 13.
yeah,
Wow, yeah. So that's pretty amazing.
yeah, yeah. So it's fun. I love it. It's
Okay.
takes stress away. Just with everyday life, and it's a really cool experience. And then when you're out there to be able to see dolphins or see maybe sharks or something like that, it's a cool experience that you can't really get anywhere else.
Yeah, it was amazing because the whole during the whole clinic, Lewis Laughlin and everybody that was involved was like, "I want to see an alligator," right? And I was like trying to find an alligator, right, like, just to show them because I knew there's alligators in there, but I didn't see one. And today, out of nowhere, there was an alligator. Someone told me that, yeah, we saw an alligator on the first day. And I was like, dang, you should have told me, man. So nice. Christy, is
Yes.
there anything you were nervous about heading into the event?
I'm always nervous about what the conditions are going to be. We've been out there before where we've had a storm. We've been out there when there's just been a lot of current. So you always worry about that, especially when you have so many new paddlers with you. You don't know how they're going to react, but that was really the only thing I was nervous about is that unpredictable Florida weather.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Chrissy, I know that you're an old hand at this now. You're like a veteran,
I
right? And
am.
you're our lead, stroker, seat one. Looks like you're moving into what, seat two, trying to be seat.
Yeah, and a little bit in seat six, but
Yeah, I mean, you paddled seat six during the 50 miler. You know,
yes.
I, it's like it's been amazing just watching your transformation from when you first came, and then you're bubbly and everything, and we love it when you come around. And I sort of took it upon myself to like, I'm gonna develop her into a seat six, right? So we sort of like volunteer you to do things, yeah,
Right.
but you're handling it well. Some people are like, what did you do? I told you what to do. But we love how you jump in on it, you know.
Yeah, you've been instrumental in the getting me back and the really doing every seat on the boat.
Yeah, and I'm really impressed. You were doing some zigzagging. I think you saw some like floaties in the water, and I think you're doing the slalom. A couple times you had me scared, but
Yeah, I'm still working on keeping a straight line, and it's kind of difficult when there's so much action around you.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
it was. So what did you guys think about the environment? Because let me tell you personally how I felt. All right. So I personally like the ocean because it's got the wind and the swells, and when you're paddling, it's pushing you and all that stuff. But personally, I honestly thought the intercoastal was a lot more challenging mentally, right? And I didn't paddle. So you guys know, I didn't paddle. I think I was a little bit more exhausted than any of you just because you all freaked me out a couple times. I turned around one time and the canoe was upside down. And Stephanie's like straddling the canoe, and all those guys are like, "Oh, what the hell? They hoolied." But someone said they hoolied, and they turned around, and man, it's like they went right into their rehearsal that they rehearsed, right? And I don't know who took charge, Steph.
So Mike was in seat one. I was seat two at that time. And we had just finished our dry land training with you the week
Yeah.
before. So we both hopped right into the roles, and Mike was shouting at people to bring up the oars to him. I knew I needed to climb up on the ama, get on top of the canoe, and I was telling seat four, because he was one of our new folks, I think. I was telling him what he
Well, that was my
needed to do.
son, Ryan.
Was it? It was. You're right.
Yeah.
I told him to come up there with me, and then we told, or no, seat five.
Uh-huh.
I forget who was seat five. Tim was seat five, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, we were able to disseminate all of the correct roles in short order, so it was good.
No, I was So just so you know, like a huli, especially for people who haven't really paddled together, right? It can be sometimes an emotional event, especially if it's in the ocean, right? And there's swell, and you get a little bit of water out, and all of a sudden, about 10 more gallons comes in. So super impressed on how you guys handle it. Mike, he's a Marine Corps pilot, so he's take charge. Hey, it's a crisis. You guys are giving me the stuff, and there's a role and responsibility for each person. And we just pulled up and watched, right? And then we're all like trying to poke at you guys. We're all trying to tell you guys what to do, because everybody, all paddlers are like type A personality of the scene, and everyone knows how to do it better, So,
They
yeah,
did a great job though. Like they got that boat right up.
yeah, yeah. And hey, before we go any further, we got to let everybody know the reason why we have you women, right? And there's supposed to be actually two more, right? Jen, who keeps coming in and out because she's afraid of chrome, right, and viruses, and then Nicole Duncan, right? Is there any more that I'm missing?
Who else
No,
was there?
no, that was it.
I think that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys, I called you the boat for Mana Wahines, right? And you guys, when you guys got together, and then you threw. No, you actually had. There's five of you guys. Oh yeah, five of you guys.
Mhm.
You guys in paddle. You had Eddie, right? And
Yeah.
seat
Right.
4. You guys are crushing it, man. And good on you. Hey, Jennifer, I saw you steering, and I got some really good footage of you steering, right? You look amazing how you're riding that weight behind the boat.
That was so fun. I've never done that before.
You never did that before? Dude, I thought you had done it before, because I did that from when we paddled from Key West to Miami with Beyond the Teams in 2022 with Eiffel. And it takes a little bit of experience
Yeah.
to get that close. I did see you rub up against the boat once.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun.
What was your experience with that? How'd you feel when you're riding those bumps? What
Oh
it feel
my
like?
gosh. It was amazing. It was cool. Like, and when you were talking about the intercoastal too versus going out in the ocean, like I was, bummed that we weren't doing the ocean. But
Yeah,
when it was all said and done, I really, like you said, I really like the intercoastal part of it because you had a lot more, the waves were different during different sections of it. It narrowed down, it widened out. You could, ride the boat wake, and just you had different currents. So it was a good variety of different type of water.
yeah.
But yeah, I was pretty beat when it was all said and done. But yeah, the steering during that behind the boat like that, it was really cool. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that bacon to have the ability to ride it like that, so that was cool.
Don't tell the men from your guys' crew, but I considered you guys the A team. And then we're like, whenever the guys were getting in the boat, right? We're like, oh, it's the B team, the support boat. Go down and sit around, like, give them. I want to pull up some video just to do some comparison to timing and stroke. I don't want to do that. My son will probably call me up and just tell me.
Loved it.
Sorry, Ryan, I love you, man. Let me see. Phase 2, week of execution in the clinics. Okay. We brought a lot of people. We brought people from Tahiti, the goat, Lewis, Rockland. We brought. Man, somebody is. I'm gonna meet all of you guys really quick. Okay. We brought the goat, Lewis Laughlin, in. We brought Joey Alvarez from Tahiti, RA Tahiti, and his niece from the Philippines. We brought all kinds of people. We had people from Maine. We had people from North Carolina. We've had people from all over the place. Texas. We had from 3 different places in Texas. And 5 of them, also Washington State, my friend Tad, that I was in the special forces with, none of them had ever paddled before, right? So at the clinics, we had Lewis at the clinics and all that stuff. And I just thought, me personally, I thought it was amazing how he took them from crawl, walk, run in a matter of 2 hours. And then they were sprinting, I considered the 32 mile plus, which felt like 60 since we're going on a treadmill. I consider that a sprint. I'll unmute you guys if you guys can unmute, and then let me know what you guys felt about how the week leading up to the paddle felt, including the breaking bread and meeting your paddlers on Thursday night, and then the morning of.
Well, I know for me, I was in touch with all my friends, and we were getting all pumped up about it.
Yeah,
Get to see each other. It was exciting. Um, Also, it was fun to like give everybody a little bit of money in their accounts, and it was just it was just fun, a fun build up to the event.
yeah,
Everyone was so excited.
that's awesome. Yeah, and then I saw Chrissy. Did you go to the clinic at all?
No, I couldn't
No.
go to it at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have been working on something. You had some other stuff going on.
yeah,
Man, you really don't even need to go to the clinic. Just while you were staring, you're doing pretty good. Yeah,
yeah. Well,
yeah.
I'm I'm sad I missed it because I'm looking at everybody and their strokes improved so much. Like it's you can see it. I
Hmm.
can see it. I can see how that people took away what he was teaching.
Yeah, yep.
Mhm.
Stephanie, how did you feel about the lead up and all that stuff?
So I also didn't get to go to the clinics, but my prep is always those Saturday morning paddles that we do, and I really feel strongly that task force takes all of their learning wherever they get that learning from, and they bring it to everyone else. So it was really interesting the day of the paddle, like other folks who went to those clinics were really helping me like learn new skills the day of the Mission 50. And I was in every seat except seat 6 on Mission 50. And it was really cool because I was getting coaching on pretty much every single seat, including Christy took me under her wing for seat 1. It was the first time that I really had like solid coaching in that first seat as well. So it was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's
You did
awesome.
awesome in C1. I was super impressed.
Yeah, I mean, and so just so you guys know, we're developing a new T-shirt, right? That only certain people get to wear. It's called the Waterman Badge. So part of the Jen's back. It looks like she's got Jen Grubbs. Here she is, the one and only Jen Grubbs. She found some chrome. Uh,
Three different cycles before I found one that would work.
but now you're a little muted, Jen. I think something may be covering the microphone or something like that. Yeah. All righty. Well, boom. Definitely, but true. So what I liked about it is I saw you guys move through the whole thing. But what you're doing now is you've gone through every seat. Now the next step is to make you a steerswoman, right? And then
Ricky, I knew you were going to say that. I
yeah,
knew it. I knew
all
it.
boat license, right? Safety certification. Then you surf already, right? You got to go to CPR class, and then we got to see you ride a short longboard. Then you'll get the Waterman badge, right? And that's a Tiger One shirt that only when you buy it, we all have to approve you to get it. So it's almost like that jump master badge, right? That
Yep.
everybody gets, or the 10 hardest days in the army of air assault. So yeah, awesome. Right. So Jen, tell us about yourself since you're a little late.
Hey, I've been here the whole time. I've just been struggling. Jen Grubbs, the wife of a retired Marine aviator, the daughter of a naval aviator, and the granddaughter of a World War I Army vet.
Wow.
So we have a big tradition of military service.
You sure do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jen, so what was your why?
Oh gosh, why paddle? Why
Why no,
paddle?
why you did the Mission 50?
Yeah,
And why you paddle?
it's, you know what? It's my third year, and the why really hasn't changed. Yeah, um, it's really to raise awareness for mental health. We've had losses both in my family and Mike's to suicide, and family members that suffer from depression, and the hydrotherapy water saves lives. That's not just a catchphrase. It has meaning.
Yeah.
It definitely has meaning for me.
Yeah. Saved my life, and
Yeah.
I constantly see us save other people's lives with this organization.
Yeah.
Everybody does. And then Jen, so just so everybody knows, she's like the team mom, right? Her handle is outriggers at taskforcehydro1.org. That's her email. So if you guys want to email anybody, just go ahead and email Jen.
Yeah.
Sorry. Jen, real quick. So you did all the clinics. The question was, with the clinic, the FNGs, bring people from all over the place, but then bringing in the GOAT Lewis Laughlin, rigging up the V12, having dinner Thursday night, and then having another clinic on Friday. How do you think that really helped set the stage for a successful Saturday Mission 50 with
So,
impending weather, right?
right.
Because Jen's always like, Ricky, I know you.
It was amazing, and having Lewis there, both for experienced and new paddlers, was. I mean, I think we all felt new,
Yeah,
showing his clinics, because he gave us perspective on what we didn't know, which was everything.
yeah,
And for the new paddlers, I mean, he gave them a wonderful introduction to what paddling is supposed to be, and they were like blank slates. So. Yeah, you don't need to put me on the main stage, dude. Take me off. There you go. I like being off. You're center stage, man. Inside the side.
yeah, and then
So it was an incredible experience, and the cohesiveness that we developed before we even started our paddles Saturday morning, that barbecue at Eddie's after the clinics, and start getting the blend with personalities and just kind of knowing who each other is.
yeah, that's come here. Say hi to everybody. Oh, okay. So Ryan doesn't want to say hi.
I lost your sound. I can't hear you anymore.
You can't hear me? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
No.
Okay. All right. So everybody else can hear me. So Jen, it's your phone's messed up. Chrome is
It
really
must be a
messing up.
me problem if everybody else can hear you.
Yeah. No, but I agree. So that was the intention of the clinics
Hi,
and the
Ryan.
dinners and everything was that crawl, walk, run method. And then we added the sprint, right? So, and then it just like in combat when you're deployed for a year and on this fire base or this base, and all of a sudden Private Snuffy gets deployed, and all of a sudden 6 months into a mission, you got this guy shows up 3 days before you go on a big mission. So what do? You do a little bit of training with them. You go eat dinner, or you go work out with him at the gym. Make sure his equipment's squared away, right? And then he shows up a little bit early before the mission with these big wide eyes, And then the only way that they get sort of comfortable and able to step foot in that helicopter or that canoe, right, is knowing that there's competent people within that canoe or boat, right, that will that know what they're doing, but also will risk their lives to save his or the person, right? And that was the intent behind it, and I think that's what I try to do. Task Force tries to do with everything we do, that's why a lot of us are so exhausted at the end of a lot of our missions. It's just our events. It's just because we try to make sure it's like that. So I think one of the questions I had was what stood out to you most about the training with the TFH1 crew. I think we answered it, but TFH1 crew, So who wants to? Does anybody have anything to add on that? No. No. You guys.
Yeah, I can hear you. So I was just thinking, Ricky, when you were just describing you like a Snuffy-in, and he's like this high-guy, new guy, right? Kind of exit because they're so confident, they help confidence they go. I think that's a perfect description of first. I really do. I think task force embodies that attitude.
Steph, I think you came across really broken and unreadable. I think. Did you guys hear what she was saying? Okay. Does anybody speak Star Wars? Steph, that was Narnar. Okay. All right. There we go. So, post paddle reflection. Pretty much the vibe was pretty awesome. The whole thing. I was actually having. Give me 1 second. I think something's going wrong here. All right.
It's my end, but I'm having a hard time hearing you.
It is you. Steph, can you say it one more time? I'm sorry.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I was just reiterating, Ricky, what you were saying earlier about, you have private, snuffy, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kind of kid that doesn't know really when boots on the ground action actually happens. He feels better. He feels more confident because of all of the competent people that he's surrounded by, right? Me being one of the new people, that's exactly the attitude that all of task force has, right? And I think that's why I'm so drawn, because it is that everybody's on the same mission. Everybody's going to support everyone else. Everybody has everybody's back. And they're not going to let you fail. As long as you step forward and you take on the challenges, we're going to succeed. And I think that's the attitude of task force as a whole. So, it's just,
Wow.
it's a culture.
I like how you put that, and it's like, just like, and I said it earlier in the other video, interview, was it's about, in combat, it's about everybody to your left and right, and you're running towards gunfire. When you're paddling, as soon as you leave the LZ, which is the beach, right, you're in that helicopter / canoe, you're going to combat, right? You all have to come back together, right? If somebody doesn't start paddling, right, stops paddling, then they're going to feel the heat, that eyeball in the back of their head, right? Maybe a paddle. But
And you're going to hear all about it too. You're not going to not hear. Pick
no,
it up.
you're not here, especially if Eddie's in the boat.
Oh, absolutely. But it's all as a team, right? It's because we all want each other to do better, that is the best feeling, in my opinion. That's one of the best feelings that you can have.
That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to get ready to tie this one up, guys. So what message would you give to other veterans or first responders about joining something like this? And let me caveat that with, okay, I get a lot of pushback, and people don't want to do it because, like, oh, $750 is a lot of money. And I started off with this. I don't want you paying $750. I want you to fundraise, because this isn't a regular race, right? It's not a regular going out and paddle. It's a mission, right? 50 paddle for a cause, right? And that's the reason why we named it that way, right? And so what would you guys give to some advice to people who are interested in paddling, and to other veterans and first responders in joining something like this? You're muted. There you go.
Me?
Yeah, there you go.
So, I think you have to feel the cause. It has to be important enough to you to get over that sense of difficulty in asking people for funds. it's for a cause. It's not for you. It's not for you to go shopping and buy your next pair of shoes. It's to support this mission, which helps the community at large. So I would say step in, give it a shot. The community is a wonderfully welcoming place to be. You don't have to be military or first responder or a vet. We have community members who are part of it as well, that support us equally strongly. So, I mean, mental health is something that we all need to work on. It's not specific to one group. So I think you can connect whoever you are. I mean, for me, it's very personal, but it affects everybody. So that's my why.
I like it, Jen. I like it. What else? Anybody else? Jennifer.
I'm sorry. I don't know what the question was. I couldn't hear anything for like the last 10 or 15 minutes. It was all echoey and I had to restart it.
So I would ask like so what the question was is what message would you give to others, veterans and first responders about joining something like this? And what the caveat was, I know some of the obstacles for some of the people where they had a hard time. They thought it was a little bit too expensive to paddle this, but the caveat was that I didn't want anybody paying. I wanted them to fundraise, right? The most important thing.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I think, I mean, if you're questioning it, the answer should just be yes. And I wouldn't be concerned and worried about raising the money to do it, because like having done this and then raising last year for the crossing, which was like I raised over $5,000 for it. I hate asking people for money, like hate it with a passion. But you would be shocked at, if you just ask your closest friends and family, you'd be shocked at the people that are willing to help and want to, contribute and donate and get you to that point. And you'll reach that goal and beyond it and not even realize that you did it just by asking. But you can't be afraid, one, to say yes because you're afraid of raising the money, or you're afraid of, I can't paddle, or I'm afraid of the water, or I can't swim. Like there's ways around that with, having a PFD, or, going to the clinic, or, I mean, you have people there to support you all along the way, and we're not going to, leave one man down. Like they're coming with us regardless. So it's just overcoming your fear, and don't think about it and just say yes and do it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I actually, I raised all my money, majority of my money in one night. I just opened up my address book, got
Yeah.
a text, and I just went through every person in there. About 500 people, right? And I was like,
Yep.
well, I'm probably going to lose some friends. Need to clean out my address book, but man, money just started flowing in. And I still have people calling me like, "Hey, man, is it closed?" I've seen all that stuff, and it
Yeah.
seemed exactly. So, what
Yeah,
about
and
you?
you just, text them, call me like, hey, would you mind donating $10? And then it's
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh, they donated 25 or 50 or 100. And like someone I know donated 150 and I hardly ever see them. I was like, that's amazing. Like, it's just the coolest thing
yeah,
when they find a reason behind it and they want to support something that stands for,
yeah,
for something good.
yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you, Christy.
Yeah.
You're muted, Christy. You're muted. Stephanie, while Chrissy figures it out.
Okay, I'm up. So I feel like you have a two-part question here. As the military person, I would strongly encourage. I have encouraged actually. I've done a little presentation about task force in my unit to tell
What?
people about task force, because as you know, I'm sure we all struggle. I don't care what your MLS is in the military or first responder. You carry some of that crap with you, and it's really hard to find community once you've experienced some of those kinds of traumas, right?
Yeah.
And that includes people in the medical field as well. I know I struggle really connecting with other civilian groups, and I tried before I found task force. I tried to connect with other like community groups, and it just doesn't. It's not the same. It's really not. So when you find a group like Task Force that, you know, it is all about like military connection, first responder connection, you do find that community. So like this is one of those things I'll probably always talk about Task Force from here going forward to any other, you know, veteran, first responder, police, fire, whoever it might be, if they're having a hard time, you know, with any kind of mental health, because you can find that community, whether it's paddling or surfing or any of the other, just meeting up at Eddie's for coffee, for goodness sakes, right? Any of those things can really be a lifesaver, like you guys say.
Yeah.
And then as far as fundraising, it highlighted that I need to work on that skill set. I am awful at asking people for money, and I realized like some of the opportunities that maybe I missed this year, next year I'll capitalize on those things. But the fundraising, it's a skill set, and it's worth developing, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, so with that, I always, you know, like I said, you got to have thick skin within the military and first responder community and the Task Force Hydro One community, right? After action reviews are always about being honest, you know, about what we can improve on or what we can sustain, you know, a practice that we're doing. Can you guys give me something that we need to improve that doesn't include me? For next year, you know, something we can improve on to make it better.
Oh gosh. Are you planning on doing the same amount of people like you did this year?
Yeah, we
And
are.
opening it up to whoever or
Yeah, maybe there may even be an iron portion, you know.
Ooh, that would be fun.
yeah. Oh gosh.
Or
I have a skill, maybe. I don't know if that'll be helpful.
well, go ahead.
I think each canoe could use a captain of its own. Somebody that helps with organizing the lineup, that has clear communication about when the switches happen. I know we had some hiccups because between our switches, sometimes we were getting frustrated with the people in the canoe versus people in the boat, when we were going to switch, how long we were going. So if you have one kind of team captain for each canoe, that might eliminate some of that confusion. That's one. And then
No, that's noted. That's well noted.
I would have loved to have an opportunity to help out, since I'm part of the task force, like, and I live very close to where the canoes are and stuff, like delegation to other task force members. Like I can help out with stuff, right? And I feel like other members of task force would be more than willing to help, you know, do some of the extra tasks and take some of that load off of you. Right. I know you carry a ton of that load, but you can delegate some of that, maybe.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
No, I appreciate it. You know, and that's one of my problems that I have. You know, is it's not that I don't trust people. It's just like, hey, I just let me take care of it, get it done, because I'm so busy. If I have to slow down to explain it, it's just like I might as well just do it, right? But yeah. So back to your first point. The first 2 years that we did, we always had somebody chief of boats, right? In the boats, and it actually does make it a lot easier, right? Because they're like, all right, get up, and they're like a jump master, you know, like, all right, get in reverse order, right? And they're making sure that are you seat 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all right? And he makes sure the boat stops, puts the boat in neutral, you know, out, right? And then when people start coming in and he's like, hey, man, I asked you to stay together, you know, or you guys need to stick together within arm's reach of each other, you know, stuff like that. And we will push for it next year. So I appreciate that. And then, yes, I will work on trying to delegate this year. I do. Jen's a big help, right? A lot of things that there are a ton of things that go on within the paddle platoon and also the surf squad, that I've got two right-hand men over there that on the surf squad, Chris Degnan and Jeff Taylor, right? I sort of let go of that. I can actually not even talk to them for 30 days, which I don't want to, but they're like fire and forget, you know. The paddle part is just, you know, the events, and it is something I'll work on. So thank you very much for that. Jen, give me something that we can improve on. I don't know what's happening to Chrissy right there. Is she doing CQB in her house?
Listen, I can't turn this camera around.
Okay. All right. Chrissy, dang, Chrissy, this is a big old house.
I know.
Chrissy, just so you know, I'm not showing this, man, because right now you're getting everybody in the world. All right. But Jen Grubbs, what can we fix? Or
So I'm with Stephanie on delegating. So I know you spent hours and hours building those boats, trying to figure out a good balance. I think that having maybe more than one brain working on that could help get a good balance of crews, to make sure that we have an equal number of strong steers and new people and paddlers that just all kind of make it work. And I'd say that it works anyway, regardless of what happens, because that's what Mission 50 kind of teaches you, is that you figure it out along those miles, you get it done. But leading up to it, delegating, letting more people help you. And even if it takes you a minute, it's going to take you less than 5 hours that you spent cramming it, to explain it, is just letting people participate that way. Because I know you've got a big brain and you got a lot locked up in there, but that, I think, relying on your people around you to help support you.
I appreciate it, guys. That's some really good feedback, and I'll take that to heart. Okay, so we raised almost $40,000, close to 40. We still got more money coming in. I'm thinking we're going to be pretty close to our goal. If there's anybody watching this, and you want to share it, share these videos, man, and let people hear how we talk about it. And this, it's going to be, the Zephy link is open till the end of May because it's Mental Health Awareness Month. Okay. And it's the reason why we did it in May is because Mental Health Awareness Month. There's always a reason behind the stuff that we do. There's a task and purpose. And then just so you guys know, for all you surfers out there, we got Mike Grubbs over there. We got Stephanie. Jen, I don't know if you surf or not. Jennifer, I don't know if you surf or not.
I'll try.
Okay, good. Well, we got August 23rd, Dax Beach. We got the first annual Task Force Hydro 1 Guardian Surf Classic for civilians, Groms, veterans, service members, everybody, right? We're going to have multiple divisions, shortboard, longboard, multiple skills. You don't even need to know how to surf. Maybe we might do the worst surfer, right? And then we'll have a team event at the end. So first responders and veterans. Chris Degnan and Ray Reeves and a bunch of those guys are on the planning committee. And that's actually one I have delegated, right? So, just let everybody know we're looking for sponsors. We're looking for corporate sponsors, asking for a monetary donation to where they give a monetary donation and then they add something to the swag bag or they pick it up at the tent. So that's what we're looking for. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys were very, very impressive. I really wanted to get out there and paddle with you all. But hey, there was other things to do. One last thing. What do you guys think about the music?
Loved it.
Dude,
Yep.
wasn't that awesome?
It was good.
Yeah. And then I want to thank our sponsors. We had Ed Malin from Angie Subs. They donated over 100 sandwich meals for the paddlers and support crews for the after party. We had Boatronics. You had Tony Eden over at Boatronics. You had Captain Dave Hall, retired JSO police officer. You had Mike McCaffrey for Nordic Blue, and also he's our title sponsor where our logo's on the can. If you guys are drinking it, do you feel awesome when you're drinking it?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'm drinking some Task Force, right? America, yeah. And then you had oh man, he's gonna I feel so bad about it.
Joanna and Mark Purcell were our
Yes,
cast.
Mark Purcell, right there. Boom. Sorry. Right.
Joanna.
And Mark Cox too. Pediatrician. I mean, he owns a I'll have to look it up. Sorry, guys, if you're watching this, don't send a Facebook bomb my way. But everybody out there, I super, super appreciate it. You got Josh Rubens over there at Liquid Therapy. He's been our first sponsor and a board member and co-founder. So super, super appreciate it. And then last but not least, Ari Outrigger from shopoutrigger.com. They provided the canoes, the Mercedes Sprinter van, all the way from California. I drove it, and the trailer just to support this thing, and they facilitated bringing out Louis Laughlin for our event. Joey Alvarez and his wife Marilyn, and then their niece Cheska were just totally amazing and support us wholeheartedly. So that's it. I appreciate every one of you guys, and thanks for spending your Monday night with me.
Cool. Thanks, Ricky. It was
Thanks,
awesome.
Ricky.
You're welcome, guys. Love you guys. Take care.
Love you.
Bye.
See you at practice
Bye-bye.
tomorrow. Don't be late.